My name is Frederick Camblin, and I'm here with my lesson plan on standing up against bullying. So for this lesson plan, it's going to be a 3-week class actually. The main part of the lesson is done within one day, um, but overall, you want to have 3 weeks or maybe even longer for your students to do the activity, which will be discussed later. So for this classroom, it is an active leadership classroom, and it's usually grades 9 through 12, mainly focusing on 11 and 12th graders. So for the health standards would be injury prevention and safety. It's 1.6 S, describing school rules and getting along with others, and 1.7 S, recognizing the characteristics of bullying. So to get students started, we would have fear factor. This is where you have 4 cards where you have statements such as ridiculing someone for being a nerd, taking someone's dessert in the cafeteria, excluding someone for a group, and gossiping about what someone's wearing. And then you have the same 4 cards for standing up. This could be don't react, walk away, smile or laugh, talk it out, calmly tell the perpetrator how you feel. When you're calm, harassment loses its power. Inform an adult if you're being hassled, you're not snitching, you're standing up for yourself. And then using clip art or magazines, you find images that reflect the fear factor in the standing up cards previously described. You glue these images on the side opposite of the statement. Students can also illustrate the images themselves. And then to begin this activity, you ask students to explain the differences between snitching and asking adults for help. Because we know with the current students, they don't want to tell on each other because they don't want to seem like snitches. But at the same time, if someone's actually hurting them to the point that they might get hurt physically or emotionally, it needs to stop. So you want to call volunteers to the front of the classroom 2 at a time, and then one student will choose a fear factor card and one will choose a stand-up card. These 2 students will act out the statements on their card, and you continue until all 4 sets are used up or until everyone has had a chance to participate. So for the first objective, it's to understand what is bullying. So this can be learned through the PowerPoint. To start it out, you would want to ask students to write down their definition of bullying. Um, As you can see, it's the same as the PowerPoint: unwanted aggressive behavior, observed or perceived power imbalance. To get students to understand this, you want them to check back to what they wrote before the PowerPoint and to reflect on if they got essentially what is bullying, or if they need to maybe reevaluate what their perceived notion of bullying is. And just to see if everyone's okay with this, you want a thumbs up or thumbs down to see if everyone understands what bullying is. For objective 2, you want to see why being a better friend matters. So to have this before starting out, you want everyone to write down on a piece of paper uh, a time that a friend was nice to them. Keep it anonymous. Crunch it up into a ball and toss it to classroom. You tell everyone not to open it until the objective is done. This is the same as the PowerPoint. We're all in this together, and students shouldn't fear going to class because of their clothes or gender. And then after that, students will open up their ball of paper and read what random friends are nice, or how random friends are nice to. And you want to keep this anonymous, and maybe the student is there and they feel embarrassed about it, but since their names are not being called, they'll see that, oh yeah, like, that was nice and I'm glad I was a nice friend, or wow, I wish I had that kind of friend, and maybe I should be that kind of friend. You want to check to see if students understand this by checking to see if they understand what better friends are and why that matters. So now for the group project, you want to make sure that students break up into groups of 6 to 8. As we learned from the study with Thompson, there's the 6 schemes that are that were observed in his or their study, and we want students to replicate these, or maybe if they feel like, or not lucky, if they feel adventurous, they can either add 2 new schemes or maybe replace one of them with something else, such as, you know, this is up to the students, but you want to make sure that at least 6 to 8 groups are there. Um, as we see the buddy scheme, peer mediation, peer mentoring, peer listening, circle of friends, bystander defender. If they want to go for something else, they can. If they want extra time, they can, but we want to make it where it's only 3 weeks so that they can put their schemes into action, even if it's just a little bit, maybe just one student at a time. They should study what their scheme's about and create a group presentation for a quick 5-minute PowerPoint, or maybe it's a pasteboard or a board where they have a presentation board. Oh my gosh, I forgot the word. Then from there, you want to, at the end of the first class, you want to make sure everyone writes their names down on a paper with their group schemas and, oh man, I forgot to finish writing that. Um, what they hope to present, such as a PowerPoint or the poster board. Um, and then back to that, the application. After the 3rd week, students will work together to present their findings. And then each student should take notes on the schemes for points. And then to review this, there should be a quick little quiz with the 6 different schemes, or maybe 8, and then what they learned about the schemes and what they liked or disliked. And then close it up about discussing all the good that we created and how else we plan to change the culture of our high school. Thank you.